Hello everybody. Today we are going over one of my favorite units in the game, Sisters of Avelorn. So, elite archers for the elves. They have AP, fire, and magic damage, which is very useful against a lot of units, except the dwarves. They have a very good range of 180, very good missile speed on par with the Glade Guards, and very good accuracy as well. Not as much as the Way Watchers, as well as, the missile speed. It's not as high, but it's pretty high. That lets them actually fire from max range, and they can still hit the targets, which is not the case of most archers. It's basically a hybrid unit, which is not stated in the card, but if you look at it, that they have 36 melee attack, 38 melee defense. Okay, it's pretty high from the start. And then they get the martial prowess. And with the martial prowess, they get to 38 melee attack. Yeah, pretty good, right? And 50 melee defense. That's just crazy. So yeah, basically, when they trade, without magic, without any help, they go toe to toe with flagellants. Like, it's an even trade, and flagellants are high damage dealer, mid-tier infantry. So they have many weaknesses that you will have to keep in mind whenever you play them. So low armor of 40, which means between 20 and 40 damage reduction on non-AP damage. They have like all high elf elites, tight formation, and this sucks because it never helps, except in a few situations. But it's pretty much bad. You take a lot of damage from many sources, like artillery and magic. They have no charge defense, which means they will take full damage from charges, impact from, cav, monsters and stuff. But the high melee defense makes up for that. And in most cases, you will actually be counter-charging with them against chaff, dogs, and missile cav. They are expensive, like all elite from the high elves and elves in general. So you can't really sacrifice them. You have to keep them safe and make sure you play correctly with them. It's a very static unit. They are not Glade Guards or Way Watchers. Glade Guards are really impressive in the way that they can just be very aggressive, keep running forward, and keep shooting. Sisters cannot do that. They have to stay in their place for the whole game, pretty much, and then just pew 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 pew, and until they have no ammo left. So in game, what it means, it's usually it's a big centerpiece of your army. It's one of the few ways high elf have to bring AP damage to the field, especially from range. Like, you have sisters and you have the bolt throwers. Then you have some techs when you reduce the armor and you just take regular archers, But from the start, yeah, it's the only AP archer you have. And the enemy will be drawn to it because it's just a threat to literally everything, that your enemy will want to kill it as much as hard as he can. So yes, the best placement for them is you keep them in the back of your army, in the center. And yes, you want more or less them to have their max range hit your whole front line. So when the enemy enters, or right before it enters, you should be able to hit them with your sisters and keep the threat all game. So like I said, it's an elite archer, basically hybrid, and it goes toe to toe with flagellants. Literally, they just trade. If you do anything, they trade one for one. So in terms of melee, and damage dealing, they do as well as flagellants, but at the same time, they will trade a lot better against dogs, light cav, and regular chaff. They will really wreck them, and you should always keep in mind that you can and you probably should countercharge these units when you have the chance. Like many times you will have dogs and light cav going for the charge on your sisters. You should face them, shoot every time you see them coming, and right before they attack you in melee, you countercharge. When it comes to actually helping your sisters, because they will need help in your games, you have magic. The most important thing to me, the best combo you can do with the sisters, with one sister in most of your armies, is just taking a Lyell. You use fast protection and Earthblood. You use one of those right before sisters go into contact with something. So very often, right before the fight, when dogs are coming, I use fast protection on the sisters, which makes them go up to 70 armor, which is big bump in armor. They get between 35 and 70 non-AP damage reduction, which is really huge. And they get up to, let's look at it. 24 melee. So yeah, it's 74 melee defense, which means dogs literally never hit them, right? Same for missile cav. They don't have enough stats to actually go through such high melee defense and decent armor. Like they will do nothing and sisters will massacre them. Sisters just have 7 charge bonus, which is really not great, but you should still countercharge dogs and whatever, half dead chaff and stuff like that to make sure you get a little more damage, because you are going to win anyway. So make sure you hit them fast, hard as you can. And you should always help your sisters with cav or swordmasters, rangers. You should always have units around them ready to help. So that's if you have one sister. And Eliel, she also has the Star of Avelorn, which is, wow, amazing. Like really, do not be afraid to use Star of Avelorn on your sisters if they are getting good hard. Like they are gonna really die if they get charged by many units like cav, infantry, flyers, and then do not be afraid to use this on them. You won't regret it. You need your sisters to stay alive. And I have not talked about the other Queen's Court Guard, but they are more expensive. They bring you some mana regen. Like this is almost nothing. That Banner of Avelorn, I think it gives you maybe 10 power reserve and almost no recharge, but it's something, And they shoot faster. One thing I didn't say is that sisters, for some reason, shoot faster than every other archers. Every other archers, they have 9.9 reload time, and the sisters, they have 9. They just shoot faster from the start. Which brings me to the second point about high elves, is that if you don't take Eliel, you can still take high magic, and then you have the Apotheosis for the heal, and even Cosphere, which is good against dogs and light cav or chaff. And then you have this, the End of Glory. Very interesting if you have one sister. Like if you have the Everqueen's Court Guard or just a regular sister, you use this. The regular casts, it's fine. I tested this, and if you go for the overcast, you see barely a change in the shooting speed. So use this, and your sisters will basically shoot twice faster. So if you have like a unit of Black Orcs that you want to take down, and Black Orcs will not be dodging, you use this, you start shooting, you pound them, and in a few seconds they will be dead. Your sisters will use a lot of ammunitions, but they will take them down twice faster. So keep in mind, this is a very good spell to use, especially if you have one sister. And you have to take down targets fast. In the end, doesn't matter if you use all your ammo on your sisters like in 2 minutes. it's actually what you want to do with your archers. You use all your ammo. If you can do it in 30 seconds, yeah, I would take it. If I can kill 2 units of Black Orcs in the first 30 seconds when they come into my army, yes, I will take that. And then you basically have a mid-tier infantry when they have no ammo left. So here is what you get for one sister and what you should help them with. But if you take more, like you can take 2 sisters, it's a very good combo against many factions. Like they can really kill stuff really fast. With Teclis, you have the Kindle Flame, which gives them plus 22% weakness to fire to anything when you cast a spell, and you have the net. So the idea is when you have Teclis, you net something important, you have to wait for the net to actually be there before you shoot with your sisters. If you start shooting when you cast and the cast is not finished, your sisters will shoot, the arrows will fly, but during that, the net will go down and your targets will stop. So all your arrows that were supposed to hit the target when it was still moving will just miss and hit the ground. So wait for the net to go down, then start shooting. At this point, the Kindle Flame would be pretty much almost at half duration. So you will have to cast something else. Usually Enfingling Foe on something, whatever, or Flock of Doom, or even Regrowth on your Cav or whatever. So you can keep the Kindle Flame up. And yeah, your sisters will pretty much kill everything. If you have 2, like big dinos, infantry, cav, it's gonna die. Because you get a big bump of 22% magic fire damage. It's just a flat 22% for the sisters, you know. If you take 3, same story. It's just gonna die faster, but it also means that you have 3.3k spent in archers, elite archers that you have actually to protect with stuff. But it doesn't mean that you have to go all in on protecting them. You can still go even harder in archers. Especially, it's a very good combo to have against Empire, Bretonia, Vampire counts. Especially Vampire counts, because against Bretonia and Empire, this actually counters heavy cav really well. If you spread all your archers so they can help each other when the cav comes, and you have the net, you just focus fire 1, then all your archers on the flank just face the cav and shoot them and then block them. It's very effective. But against artillery, Empire and Bretonia, yeah, it can be dicey. Against vampires, works really well. But against vampires, once again, I suggest you just take the Quartz Guard with the Alliance. And then the rest of your army should be just a lot of melee stuff. And your Quartz Guard just is never going to die. Never. Just vampires will not kill them. Unless you fuck up big time and you let them get hit by wind spells and whatever big magic damage or breath, you know. Just be careful about that. So here, typical high elf army for me against Empire, really versatile. The Bothora is here to get rid of the artillery. Maybe you should take 2 sometimes, but here didn't have artillery, so no problem. Bothora is here, sisters in the back, always. You want to keep them safe at the beginning of a match, then you assess your enemy strengths, see what you got, and if it's safe, you can advance with your sisters. Then you see, in the back, the army is forming some kind of an arrowhead. So your sisters can actually shoot and protect, support all your fights around it. And yeah, it's a good place for your sisters to be. With cav, not too far, some infantry, not too far again. So you have possibilities to help them and go back when actually the threats are coming. They were getting pressured by halberdiers. Technically, it's a fight they would win, but since the halberdiers are full life, there is really no reason to go straight into melee here. Like you should go back, shoot them, block them with something in melee. Like this is too soon to get into a melee fight with our sisters. Here you should take the fight with your halberdiers. You have almost no ammo left. Just go straight into this and wreck them. So here you can see the dogs are coming. I'm counter charging instantly with the sisters and protecting them with the fast protection. And you will see they are gonna wreck those dogs, like no problem. And I didn't lose any model. So here is the other kind of deployment that you can do when you want to play more sisters and you go all in with the archers to counter actually heavy cav factions. So this should work against Bretonia, Empire, and especially against vampire counts, because there is no threat from artillery here, and you can actually use the box formation for your archers. And the box formation is actually great for countering cav, because cav will be charging your front line, which is not a lot of units, and the unit will wrap around those, and they usually want to ping pong between units, but the unit is so deep here that it won't be able to go through, and many models will just get stuck. So yeah, this is a good formation for your archers, and they can really help each other. And then you have Teklis with the net. Anything that comes here or on this side, you can, or in the front line, you know, any very good target, you net, you take your 3 sisters and some sea guards, you shoot it, it's dead. The end. Same story when you just have 2 sisters. You know, it's usually have your sisters, maybe one here, you know. The enemy will try to kill the first one, but you can just go back, and then your second one will shoot. You get your units to go back. You get your cav to support when the enemy comes. For your sisters, you get your dragon princes or some stuff, and then you have Teklis just netting units at the key moment, and then you can just unleash hell with your 2 sisters and just dead. And your cav is actually kind of a second net. They are the police, and they help your sisters survive and not get caught in melee all the time. Alright guys, so this is it. First video on Sisters of Avelorn. I hope it's gonna be useful to you, and if you have questions, just leave it in the comment or direct message me on Discord or on Steam, and I will most likely help you. And yeah, one of the best units in the game, very hard to use. It's a high skill but high reward unit. Very, very great, you know. It's a beautiful unit. So I hope to see you soon, and yeah, see you for the next video on specific unit. It might be either Shades, Way Watchers, Sisters of Slaughter, Medusa maybe. I want to do all of these in the end, and yeah, let me know in the comment which units you liked me to cover. Alright? See you guys, have a good one.